How's everybody doing today? So, it's a great day to be alive. I'm down here at Ann Morrison Park today. In just 2 days, we expect to be using this location. Location yet to be determined to have the Jo Jorgensen rally here in Boise. Yes, we have a presidential candidate, the candidate, not some substitute like what's going on up in Haley. The presidential candidate for the Libertarian Party who will be showing up here in Boise on the 16th. She'll also be visiting Idaho Falls on the 17th, Thursday. So absolutely, come down, pay attention, see what's going on, listen to her speak, hear what she has to say. I may even get an opportunity to say something as well. But these are the things that we're looking at coming up, going on, and other events. So, one of the things that we're looking at right now, welcome. I'm your first congressional candidate for District 1, Libertarian Party. Please pay attention to the link that's scrolling along the bottom. That is the fundraising site for my campaign. Please donate, like, share, comment. Let me know what you're thinking about, because that is what this is all about. This is about, gotta love the geese. This is about me hearing from you to understand what it is we need here in America and here in Idaho. So definitely please look. Now, put up a little blurb earlier today. These are about the things that we want here in America. You know, Forbes went out, they did the article. We all got these things that are important to us. The top 8 things people want. So let's go ahead and talk about number 1. Anybody got any idea what number 1 is? Yeah, this one sort of surprised me too, because it's not one of the normal ones. People want to be happy. You know, usually you think money, you think about, peace, you think about freedom. Nah, people want to be happy. What is it that's going to make you happy? What sort of things go into that? So now, this is actually an interesting thing, because in soft sciences, actually in economics, they're getting into this theory right now. It's called the economics of happiness. Why would I know? This was actually one of the senior classes that was available, 400 series seminars that was available when I was going to Boise State University. And there's a couple books out on the issue right now. The economics of happiness. What does this mean? Well, there's a lot of things that go into contributing to happiness. The things we want, the things we buy, where we live, how far we have to commute to work, whether or not we work at home or not, even proximity to the airport. This is of particular importance. Reason why is because if you're in the noise zone in the airport, you're generally not considered a happy individual. Property values go down close proximity to the airport simply because of the noise factor. So happiness. And a lot of contributors to that. One of the things that some of the studies for the economics of happiness included was, do you have access to health care? Well, do you? Are you happy with the health care that you have access to? I mean, it's an important thing, right? How long do you commute? How long does it take you to commute to work? Got a couple family issues to take care of here, but what's your family situation? Does everybody have enough money Is everybody have enough to eat? These are all things that contribute to the happiness factor. And it starts getting a little bit complicated. So the next big thing that falls into that is, finally one that actually makes sense. Well, not that happiness didn't make sense, but that is money. How much money do you need to make right now to make you happy? How much money do you need to make in order to take care of your needs? This goes in an awful lot of things. Is the money you make enough? Does it give you enough to eat? Does it provide a roof over your head? Does it meet Maslow's hierarchy? How much money do you need to be happy? Would actually being able to keep most of your earnings make you happy? You go into the boss, you sit down and you say, well, I need myself about $14 an hour in order to live the kind of life I want. That puts a roof over my head. That puts food in my tummy. Then after you do all this negotiation, because that's what you budgeted out, it turns out your take home's closer to 11 because you've got to take all the taxes out. That means you really should have negotiated for 17 or 18. One of those things not too many of us really think about when we actually sit down and do our budget. How much of our budget is going to go to taxes? So right now in the state of Idaho, somewhere in the neighborhood of about 30% of our wages go into taxes. By the time you've paid your property tax, by the time you've paid your landlord's property tax, if, that's coming out of your rent check, by the time you've paid sales tax, by the time you've paid income tax to the state, by the time you've paid income tax to the nation, Federal Reserve, IRS, all of that. Would you want to have more of the money you earned? Or do you want to go ahead and negotiate more so that we continue, so that the federal government, the state government, those coffers, those bureaucracies continue to pull 20 to 30% of your income out in taxes every year? Yeah. GOP's not interested in cutting middle class taxes, not interested in cutting working class taxes. DNC's decided they're not interested in cutting either of those either. Matter of fact, both of them are looking for ways to tax you more. Why? Because the corporations that we are supposed to be taxing have lobbied so that they don't have to pay as much. Now, I'm not saying make them pay more, but shouldn't we all be paying the same? At least the same? Right now, the top quintile is actually paying a lower percentage of their taxes than, middle-class Americans. I think that was something they figured out. If you're making somewhere between 70 and 125K a year, you're actually paying more in taxes than people who are making more than $1 million a year. Yeah. Folks, we can do better. Those millionaires making $1 million plus a year, they're making $1 million plus a year because they are benefiting from the way government has decided to run. Even Adam Smith, stepped back and said, look, you're going to tax, at least tax according to the benefit in which an individual receives from the state. If the state has it set up so that you're earning $1 million a year, maybe you should contribute a little bit more to the state. It's actually helping you keep all that money. At least that's Adam Smith's point of view on the issue. So, go ahead. Guys, please talk to me. Let me know what sort of things are important to you. going to move on to topic 3. Who wants to guess what topic 3 is? Let me know. Let me know. Ooh, dear. Can't let that go. Almost misspelled it. So, 3. Forbes list of top 8 things. Number 3 is freedom. What is freedom number 3? Life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Yes, happiness. The pursuit of happiness. Happiness is number 1. Although life and liberty, if we equate liberty to freedom, our Declaration of Independence put liberty as number 2. Here in modern America, liberty or freedom has gone down to number 3. Nobody guarantees you happiness. The Constitution doesn't guarantee you happiness. The Declaration of Independence doesn't guarantee you happiness. It says you should have the freedom to pursue happiness, but it doesn't actually guarantee happiness. But freedom. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Freedom. This is one of those things that's interesting, because if you go back and you actually take a look at the way our founding fathers created the documents, it's an interesting rebuttal when you actually take a look at the Articles of Confederation, not the Articles of Confederation, because there were Articles of Confederation that predated the Constitution. The Constitution came after the fact. But one of the keystone speeches for the secessionists, in their declaration of secession from the United States, when they were going to become Confederate States of America, and they separated from the Union, and we ended up with that big to-do. One of the keystone speeches was their belief that only Europeans were capable of setting the standard for all the rest of the races on the planet. Secessionists came out and said, Europeans are prime. They're the alphas. They're the dominants. It's up to the European. It's up to the Christian identity to determine the fate of the world. And all other races were to be subjugated as a result. I know an awful lot of people like to talk shit about, Southern rights, states' rights. Dude, that was actually in one of the primary secessionist speeches. Unrighteous dominion was the primary state right that they were fighting for. And he actually went on to say the reason why we're seceding is because the Constitution affirmed equality of all human beings. All men were created equal. Southern secessionists didn't agree with that. They didn't think all men were created equal. No, an awful lot of us like to go back and complain. Well, weren't some of the founding fathers slave owners? Yes, they were. Thomas Jefferson, a number of the others that were involved in the writing of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights were slave owners. Not denying it, happened. Despite that, they still wrote a Constitution. They wrote a Declaration of Independence that affirmed the equality of all human beings in the eyes of the law and in the eyes of the Creator. And the secessionists of the South felt that was wrong. Freedom. It's number 3 in our list of things we consider important in America today, according to Forbes. I don't know. What do you think? Give me a moment here. Realizing I had a little smudge on my camera. Oh. I like that look. That's much better. You guys can actually see me now. Yes. Win. Okay, so let's go on to number 4. What do you think is important after freedom? Okay, we've covered the top three so far. We've covered happiness. We've covered money. We've covered freedom. It's number four. It's number four, folks. Well, I'm about to tell you. Let me tell you now, because I'm going to tell you. It's peace. Oops. Let's keep it up there. Peace. Number four, it's peace. World peace, personal peace, national peace. It's some kind of peace. I think peace is important. It's at least number four. You know, right after liberty, the pursuit of happiness, and money. Number four, we got peace. The irony is, right now, we're probably in the least peaceful time in American history. And even as we talk about the Civil War, okay, so second least peaceful. Yeah, but the United States, almost since its inception, has been in some state of war. Whether it was the Indian Wars, whether it was the Mexican War, whether it was the war with England, whether it was wars with various indigenous nations, you know, that we created treaties with and then reneged on the treaties, yada, yada, yada. I mean, literally, we have been at war for 90% of the time that the U.S. has existed as a nation. The irony of that is, outside of that initial revolution and the Civil War, the citizens of America have not felt the effects of war. Somehow the war has always been removed from the bulk of the citizens, unless you lived in the Confederacy during the Civil War. Yeah, ever since its inception. Why? And even right now, we've been at war 20 years. 20 years in the United States, we have been at war. You know, this war doesn't exist here in the U.S. streets. It doesn't. It doesn't exist in the towns you and I live in. Yet somehow we're spending somewhere in the neighborhood of $500 million. No, it's closer to $500 billion. You know, $250 billion a year dropping munitions in upwards of 8 different countries around the world right now. America is not at peace, yet we don't experience the effects of the war we are waging in these other countries. At least not on a personal level. It's more of a vicarious level where we experience the war through the veterans who come home. We experience the war through the refugees that are displaced by our foreign policy that come to live in America, because we have created an unsafe environment for those people who were our allies while they lived there. We have Afghanis that helped us as interpreters. We have Iraqis that helped us as interpreters. A lot of these individuals have received emergency refugee status to allow them to come to the country because they helped us. And they're continuing living in their countries because their communities knew they helped us, put their lives in danger. We're literally living our wars vicariously through the veterans, through the refugees, through all of these individuals. And it continues to create problems here in the U.S. We look at our law enforcement right now. Law enforcement over the last 20 years has always had military preference in hiring. Is that good? Is that bad? Part of the problem is a lot of that military experience is coming back. These were people who were patrolling streets in Baghdad, patrolling streets in Mogadishu, patrolling streets, you know, in any Bagram, you know, Kandahar. They're coming back with PTSD. They're coming back with a sense or PTSI, post-traumatic stress injury. They're coming back, and being a police officer in an awful lot of those conditions continues to put stressors on them. they respond to triggering events, and not always in a good way. In most of those countries where we were at, it was a constant threat. Very much the same way it is here in Idaho, believe it or not. You could go out and walk on the street and, people had guns everywhere. Long guns, short guns, pistols, rifles, AKs. Not M16s, AR-15s. Most of them didn't actually have the American style, but a lot of them had the AKs. We were seeing long guns all over the place. You go to a Trump rally here, you go to a libertarian rally, you go to a Second Amendment rally, guns everywhere. That's what you saw in country. That's what you saw in Afghanistan. That's what you saw in Iraq. People traveled armed. Now we're back in the States. People traveled armed. Should we be able to? Absolutely. Don't get me wrong on that point. We should be able to. I've taken to open carry quite a bit lately myself for various reasons. But absolutely, we should be able to carry. But these are things that create that heightened awareness in our veterans, in our refugees, when they come here to live in America. And it's like 90% of the time they can travel about day to day, without seeing anybody carrying a weapon here in Boise. And then all of a sudden they show up at a political rally and half the opposition is toting long guns, wearing body armor, just like operators in country. It brings back the war for a lot of our veterans. It brings back that heightened sense, that anxiety, that hyper awareness that now we need to pay attention to everything and everybody going on, because we don't know who's on our side. We don't know who wants us dead. We don't know who wants to keep us alive. And here we are at home. And even though everybody has the right, we find ourselves reliving experiences that we thought we had left behind. Because let's face it, how often do you actually need a gun here in the United States? Yes, have it. Absolutely. Concealed carry, open carry, doesn't matter. It's a right. Just understand that not everybody has the same reaction to your open carry. Enjoy your rights, man. Enjoy them. Absolutely. I know I do. But peace. How do we create peace in America? How do we maintain a peace while we export war, while we export pain? Where we bring it back with us? Peace. How important is peace to you? Is money more important than peace to you? Okay. Happiness, freedom, peace. They're all interlinked, man. They're all interlinked. You can't have one without the other. As long as we're bringing war back from Afghanistan, from Iraq, from the Middle East, wherever we're exporting it to, when we bring it back, we don't bring back peace. We don't maintain a peace over there. We bring back war. We bring back fear. We bring back anxiety. We bring back the awareness that our presence creates more terrorists. We create a fear for the future. You can't have peace and happiness and freedom as long as we export war. Okay. Enough on that one, since none of you actually want to comment. Thank you for the likes, by the way. I really do appreciate the likes. Like, share, comment. You know it. Do you appreciate it? Ina? Absolutely. Nicole. Gisela. I love you, Gisela. I love you. For a lot of you who don't know, a number of these are activists that I've worked with over the years. Peace activists. Legalization for marijuana. For those, for those who enjoy a little bit to help them relax. A number of these individuals have helped me over the years with Legalize Idaho activism. Nicole, Gisela, Ginger, love you guys. Absolutely. We definitely like taking the anxiety out of the problem. That's one way to help relieve the PTSI, particularly for veterans and first responders. There are a number of first responders in states where it's been legalized that now use medical marijuana while on the job, believe it or not. Yes, some states have actually legalized marijuana for use for first responders while on the job because it helps them de-stress. It helps them de-escalate potentially violent situations because they aren't running high on anxiety. Yeah. Let's go ahead and hit another topic. This is number 5 of 8, by the way. 5. Number 5 is joy. This is interesting. The reason why is because joy and happiness has always been one of those synonymous things for me. Joy. Which would make happiness even more if joy was, but the way they did it was sort of a word salad thing. Say the word that means the most to you right now. And they took the top 8 words. So happiness was up there. Money, freedom, peace. Number 5 was joy. How many of you think there's an actual difference between happiness and joy? You can go ahead and bring Gisela up here. Thank you, Gisela. Freedom is the issue. We can't have it without equality. And that's true. If there is one person in America without freedom, none of us have freedom. As long as we can't share that freedom universally, as long as the freedom isn't universal, it doesn't exist. We find ourselves trapped in a system where either we are the exploiter or we are the exploited. Equal in the eyes of the law, equal in the eyes of the Creator, equal in justice, equal in truth. That is freedom. I'm not talking equal in capacity, not talking equal in capability. We all have our own challenges. We all have our own personal challenges, our own personal issues, that prevent us from being true equals. We see it in the Olympics right now. Michael Phelps, he has a genetic predisposition that prevents a buildup of lactic acids in his system when he works out, when he does things. That creates an advantage for him. Like right now, we have a woman who has a genetic heritage that gives her more testosterone, that gives her an advantage. They want her to go to hormone therapy in order to make her give her opponents enough of an edge. Good folks, we will never be equal in capacity. There will always be somebody faster, stronger, smarter than us. That is not the point of equality. It is we're equal in respect. We respect everybody equally. We give everybody equal opportunity, equal justice. Yes, always somebody smarter, faster, stronger. Unavoidable. God did not create us physically equal. He did not all give us the same genetic capability, the same genetic capacity. However, the founding fathers felt that equal in justice, equal in freedom, equal in the eyes of the Creator, was a strong foundation for a true democratic nation, where we were all able to have our voices heard, be able to be represented equally. All of us have the same stake in the growth of our nation. Yeah. Can't have equality without, or can't have freedom without equality. Yeah. So that was number 5, folks. That's my 30 minutes for the day. Really do appreciate your input. Thank you for joining me, Gisela. The rest of you, Dia, love you, niece. Appreciate it. Nicole, Ashley, thank you all. Ginger, love you. Okay, remember, donate to my campaign. That helps me keep these broadcasts going. This helps me reach out to you, reach out to the people of America, reach out to the people of Idaho, so that you know what I'm thinking, and I have an opportunity to hear what you're thinking, so that we can work towards those important things here in America that everybody wants. We want happiness. We want more money for our paycheck. We want more freedom. We definitely want more freedom. Peace in America. Number 4, folks, peace. Peace makes all the rest of it easier. And joy. Contribute to my campaign. Like, share, comment. Again, please. I'll be waiting for your comments in the threads and other issues. Definitely looking forward to it. Have a great evening. I'm going to go out and find something to do. Probably catch up with my 22 a day. Suicide awareness, folks. Happiness, money, freedom, peace. All of those contribute to suicide prevention. We can do it as a nation. We can do it together. We can do it as a community. Remember, family, friends, community. That's how we get through this. Love y'all. Have a good one.